Good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's Pilates class. I hope you've had a good week. I hope you've enjoyed the sun. I'm seeing it out through the window here. I hope you enjoyed the class. And as always, keep it at your own pace. So if you feel that anything is too strenuous, you can take a break from it. But do remember, a little bit of muscle work is what we're about. And in that work, you should feel it in your bum cheeks, in your quads, in your hamstrings, in your calves, backs of arms. But we don't want any joint pain. So no pain in the lower back, especially the neck, shoulders, elbows, wrists, knees, ankles. So hips, so you're trying to keep the pain away from there. If you find you're getting pain consistently with an exercise, please do give me a shout so I can adjust the position for you or come up with an alternative exercise. If you get it tonight and there's nothing I can do for you, and then just sit out that exercise or try to do an easier version of something I may have done previously. Like I said, I hope you enjoy. And again, with the breathing, I know I do talk about the breathing a lot, and it is an important part of Pilates, but the first thing is get the exercise right first. Once you've gotten the hold of the exercise, then you kind of start adding the breathing, then start adding in the pelvic floor. So we kind of do the layers up if we can. Okay, so let's get started. Again, actually, sorry, tonight we're going to do a little bit of lunging. So you might need something to hold on to. And we might stay more in the lunge position. And we're also going to do a little bit of kneeling, high kneeling. So if you're somebody whose knees bother you, you may need a cushion to kneel onto or to place in between the bum cheeks and the heels. Okay, so let's start. Feet together. Keep those heels together as you separate the toes as far apart as you can, and then follow with the heels. Now we're hip width apart. Again, let's start rocking forward and back. So let's find our good posture for the class. Again, you might be somebody who puts all the weight through their heels or through their toes. Try find so that your weight sits somewhere between the two, not all the way back, not all the way forward. Keep light through the arch of the foot on the inner side of the foot, so you're placing the weight a little bit more towards the outside of the foot. Again, remember we've got that little blueberry underneath the arch and we're trying not to squash it. So as we're rocking forward and back now, I want you to try, see if you can place your weight somewhere in the middle of the foot and light through the arch. Working up towards your knees, just soften those knees, rock them from side to side. So don't have them jammed back, basically. Just let them soften and relax. Again, up towards the pelvis. Imagine you've got that bowl of water and you're trying to keep it level so there's no water spilling out. It's filled to the brim. So most of us do tend to stand with bones sticking out a little bit, so the water is always spilling out the front. So I want you to imagine with your tail on the tailbone, you're tucking it in between your legs, you're flattening that bowl, if you like, or you're leveling the bowl so no water is spilling out. Likewise, you could be somebody who tends to tip the bowl backwards, and if you are, just nudge it ever so slightly forward so that again the bowl is level and not spilling anything back. This is a nice time if you can. Try place the hands onto the pelvis and try practice your pelvic tilting. So it's tucking the tailbone in between your legs and then letting it relax out. It's a very, very small movement. And if you can see, I'm doing it independent of my knees. So my knees are relaxed, you're not jammed back. So that's the first thing. If your knees are jammed back, you're going to go nowhere with your pelvis. You have to soften those knees. But also as I'm doing it, I'm not bending and straightening my knees to get that pelvic movement. I'm just doing this tiny little movement all on its own. So I'm tucking the tailbone in and then letting it relax. Tucking the tailbone in and letting it relax. As you're doing it, again, you might get a sense of, as I'm tucking the tailbone in, a little lift up inside, and that's your pelvic floor muscle. So that's what we want happening. So a little lifting of the uplift up of the pelvic floor muscle, and at the same time, you want to feel the lower tummy muscle just draws in ever so slightly, and that is absolutely perfect. Okay, so you've got our pelvis in that nice level position now, working up towards your ribs. So we're going to try not have our chest sticking out like this. So again, imagine on the front of the ribs, you've got a weight, and you're just going to let the ribs sink a little bit heavier towards the ground. And keep those ribs in that position if you can. From here, shoulders in, I want you to bring the ball of your shoulder back. And as you're doing this, back in line for ear, as you're doing this, you should feel the tip of your shoulder blade is moving down towards the opposite pocket of my trousers by hand there. And the same as I move this ball of my shoulder back, my shoulder blade, the tip of my shoulder blade is moving down and towards the opposite pocket of the jeans. And again, that's my nice position. So that's where I want to be. I want to keep my shoulder blade set, if you like, in my upper back. As I've done that, I should feel like I have a nice wide smile now going from shoulder to shoulder across the collarbones here in front. Again, without sticking the chest out. Tuck the chin in ever so slightly. So imagine that magnet is pulling the crown of the head all the way towards the back side of the room. So you're tucking your chin in and getting a nice length through the back of the neck. And this is our nice starting posture. So from here, I'm going to do some breaths. So I want you to place your hands onto the rib cage down the bottom. Take a nice big breath in. As you do so, you should feel the rib cage swell out into your hands. You should feel your tummy expand out, and then breathing out, the rib cage drops down and in, and the tummy flattens. Again, breath in. Let that rib cage expand into the hands, tummy swells out. Breathing out, the rib cage drops down in and the tummy flattens. On this breath out, I want you to try lift up and in that pelvic floor muscle. So the instruction is lift up and in around back passage as if you're trying to stop yourself from passing wind. And you obviously don't want anyone else in the room to know that. So we're not clenching bum cheeks, you're not holding your breath. So again, it's a breath in and breathing out. Lift up and in that pelvic floor muscle. Really important that it also needs to relax. So when you're taking the breath in, let everything relax. And then breathing out, lift up and in. Breath in, let everything relax. Breathing out, lift up and in. And the last one, we're going to take a breath in. And breathing out, final lift up and in. Well done. If you can think of it as you're doing it throughout the class, try lift up and in anytime you're doing a breath out or when I instruct you to do a breath out. Okay, staying hip width apart, we're just going to we're going to keep our head in midline. What we're going to do here, I'm going to turn to look over my right shoulder as far as I can go, and then I'm going to bring my chin down towards my collarbone until I come back to midline, and I'm going to look straight up in front again. So I'm going to turn to look over my left shoulder, bring my chin down towards my collarbone until I get back to the center, and then I'm going to look straight up ahead. So again, over my right shoulder, chin down towards collarbone, back up to center. Left shoulder, chin down towards collarbone, back to center. One more each side. Looking over the right shoulder, chin down towards collarbone, up to center. Last one, over the left shoulder, chin down towards collarbone, and back to center. Well done. From here, we're going to bring our right ear towards our right shoulder, and then left ear towards the left shoulder. Keep the hands on the sides of the thigh, resting on the sides of your thighs. As we go from side to side, we will start to add in the arm movement a little bit. So again, just stay breathing nice and smoothly. Keep that tailbone tucked in between your legs. Keep your ribs nice and heavy as we just go from side to side. Now, the next time as I'm going over to the right hand side, I'm going to slide my right hand down along my right thigh just a little bit. And then I'm coming back to center, and I'm going to go all the way over to the left hand side. And back to center. If you want to add the breathing into this, it's a breath out. As you slide the leg down along the thigh, breath in to come back up to center. On the next one, I'm going to add the arm in. So I'm going to lift my left arm all the way up in the air as I'm bringing my right ear to shoulder. Bring it down to the opposite. Again, imagine there's a string pulling your arm all the way out to your shoulder joint. So you're really trying to stretch it all the way up and then over across the opposite side. Just one more to each side. And last one. Well done. From here, we're going to go into our stride step position. If you have issues with your balance, you can just stay with your feet hip width apart. But in that stride step position, put one foot ahead of the other, not one directly in front of the other. Float the arms up to shoulder height. Release the thumbs. I'm going to keep my left hand in the center as I sweep my right hand all the way back, behind, and then back into the center. Keep the hips pointing forward. And this is a turn of the upper body. So we're not arching the upper body back, you're just turning. When the breathing for this, it's breath out. Turn to look behind, breath in to sweep back to the center. Sorry, we should be going to both sides here. So we're going to do right hand, sweep round, back behind. Left hand, back behind. So keep those ribs nice and heavy. Tailbone tucked in between your legs. Well done. We're going to lower the arms and we're going to change foot position. So face the right foot one step ahead of the left. Float both arms up to shoulder height again. Keep the left in the center and then bring my right all the way back behind and then back into the center. Again, breathing is breath out. As you sweep the arm behind, breath in as you come to center. Just 2 more to each side. Well done. Arms back to center. Lower the arms and give your shoulders a little bit of a curl out. So again, raise shoulders up and back in nice big circles. Super. From here, we're going to place it. So stand just a little bit wider than hip width apart. Tuck the tailbone in between your legs. Keep those ribs nice and heavy. Place the hands onto the pelvis. And we're just going to do a nice big circle all the way around to one side. So imagine you've got a hula hoop on your waist. You're trying to keep it in position. You're doing it nice and slowly though. So all the way around. Nice big stretch as you go around. You can hear a few clicks and cracks as you move around in a circle. And then change direction and go all the way around the opposite direction. Well done. Now we're just going to go for 3, 2, and 1. Super. Back into the center. From here, we're going to do our squats. So again, feet are just a little bit wider than hip width apart. Toes are pointing directly forward. And I'm going to sit all the way back into my heels. But again, as I'm sitting back, the direction I'm going with my knees is out towards my little toe side of my foot. So I'm keeping really light through the arch of my foot, all the way to my heels and the outer edge of my foot. As I'm going down into my squat, imagine the doors of a lift pressing in against your knees, and you're pressing out against the doors of the lift all the way up and down. I'm keeping my arms in a rest. It's really like I'm holding a beach ball in my hands. So my elbows are in a softened position. They're not, my arms are jammed out in front, so they're just in a softened position. Keeping my chest nice and open, chin is tucked in, keeping my neck nice and long. And I'm trying to do a little pelvic tilt before I go down into my squat, but I am still sitting all the way back in. Again, just watch as you're going into your squat, your knees are not going forward over your toes. And you'll know this because the pressure and the weight should all be in your heels. There should be nothing forward on your toes, so all into your heels. As we're going down again, it's a breath in to go down and breath out to push all the way back into standing. And I'm driving up through my heels. Well done. Again, I'm raising my arms up as I go into my squat, and I'm lowering them as I come back down. You can make sure those knees are pointing out towards the little toe, but without turning the feet out. Well done. We're going to go for 3, 2, and 1. Super. Next one, we're going to go from here. So we're going to stand hip width apart. We're just going to go up onto my right heel. So again, stay nice and still. Keep nice and still through here. I'm going to go up my right heel, lower down, up onto my left heel, lower down. Right heel and down, left heel and down. Now I'm going to do the two at the same time. So as I'm going from my right up on my right heel, I'm going to alternate and lift my left heel up. So it's like I'm walking on the spot. What we're doing with this exercise, you're trying to keep nice and still through your pelvis so you don't see this sort of rocking from side to side. So you're really trying to keep that tailbone tucked in between your legs as you go from side to side nice and slowly. It's nearly like, again, you're tiptoeing on the spot as opposed to walking on the spot. You're really with a very definite or deliberate movement again. So nice and slowly. Well done. We're going to start to add the arm movement in. So really remember to keep those ribs nice and heavy as well too. So I'm going to float both arms up to shoulder height. And now we're going to separate apart, come back to center. Separate apart, come back to center. At the same time, I'm still going up and down on my tiptoes, or I'm still alternating. My heel lifts. Well done. That's it. So separate those arms apart. The breathing for this is breath out, separating the arms apart. Breath in, bringing them back to center. Just do 2 more. Well done. Bring the arms back to center. Lower the heels down and lower the arms down. Give those legs a little bit of a shake out. Next one we're going to do, stand with your feet together. We're going to keep those legs zipped together, but you're going to separate your toes apart. So keep those heels together. Keep the inner thigh as much as you can when you go down into this position. Keep them together as well too. Tuck the tailbone in between your legs. Keep those ribs nice and heavy. Nice and wide across the front of the chest. You're going to go up onto your tiptoes and then back down. As you go up onto your tiptoes, your legs do naturally separate out. But as you're coming back down, I want you to squeeze those heels together. So lifting up and then coming back down, try to get those heels together. So again, it's a breath out. As you raise up, breath in as you lower. Well done. Super. And if you can, you start to feel, the more we're doing this, it will start to creep up, not just in the backs of the calves where you're feeling it, but you will start to feel the muscles in the backs of the thighs and even into the bum start to feel this exercise as well too. If you can, let's build up the tempo a little bit, and let's go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Those legs definitely need a shake out after that. Again, if you can, join me at the bottom of the mat. I'm going to do a roll down into a calf stretch. If you have too many issues with your wrists, then I want you to do your calf stretch up against the wall. Make sure your feet are pointing straight ahead. Back leg is nice and straight with knees straight. And you're bending the front knee, moving your hips in towards the wall, not your upper body. You can stretch there for both sides for about 30 seconds on each leg. Everyone else, if you can, join me at the end of your mat. I'm going to do a little roll down. So I'm going to get you to bring your chin towards your chest. Curl the body down, the lower back piece by piece. As you get those arms hanging down in front. Once you get as far as you can, I'm going to get you to bend those knees to place the palms of the hands down onto the mat. And you're going to walk your way all the way out until you can actually get those knees relatively straight and the heels close to the mat. They won't be on the mat. From here, I'm going to get you to walk, bend those knees, bend and straighten those knees. So you're like the walking on spot, pushing your heels down in towards the mat, one at a time. Again, if this position gives you much bother with your wrists, go up into your fisted position from here. You can take the pressure off the wrists. Watch your neck position. So you want to make sure the back of the neck is nice and long, chin is tucked in. So tuck that chin in. Again, imagine there's something, a magnet pulling the crown of the head towards the front wall of the room now ahead of you. So you're keeping the back of the neck nice and long. So you should be looking somewhere between your hands and your feet. But just make sure you keep that chin tucked in nice and gently. Okay, from here, I'm going to get you to place all the weight on the right leg. Straighten the right knee as much as you can. Push the right heel in towards the mat. I've hooked my left foot over the back of my right heel. I'm going to hold this stretch for 10, 9, 8, stay breathing, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now change over to the other leg. So place all the weight onto the left foot. Hook the right foot over the back of the left ankle. Straighten the left knee as much as you can. Push that heel in towards the mat. Stay breathing. And you're going to hold the stretch for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now place both feet back on the mat. Bend those knees. We're going to come down to the all fours position. You're just going to walk your way forward. And we're going to come up into our high kneeling position. If you're somebody who has knee issues, you can now go down and kneel onto your cushion to take the pressure off of it. And you can also, if you have a second cushion, we might need 3 cushions actually for this exercise. When we start moving from our heels up into high kneeling, if you have an issue with knee position, you can actually place a cushion in between your bum and your heels, so it makes it a little bit easier. For those that don't have knee issues, and even those that do, if you have a third cushion lying about, I'm going to get you to place your cushion in between your knees. So fold it up and place it in between your knees. If you do have a band to hand, I've got my beautiful tights again, I want you to grab a hold of those. So I'm in my high kneeling position, and I'm just going to show you from the side first what this position should look like. So really, really important here. I'm not allowed to stick my bum out behind, so you really have to work to tuck that tailbone in between your legs. So again, as always, my knees, hips, and shoulders should be in a line. My ribs are nice and heavy at the front. That's important. So With any exercise here, what you find is people really start to arch back and they'll get loads of low back pain. But you won't get it if you tuck that tailbone in between your legs and keep those ribs nice and heavy. We're going to squeeze, like I said, keep a squeeze on this cushion here in between your legs. You're going to take a breath. Well, we'll talk about the breathing in a second, but the movement here is bring those shoulder blades, so bring that ball and shoulder back and the same on the opposite side. And holding the band just a little bit wider than hip width apart, but I've got a good tension on it, or, you know, both relatively taut. And from here, I'm just going to raise my arms all the way up overhead and then back down. So as I'm going up overhead, I'm giving an extra little bit of a pull on the band, and then I'm relaxing as I come back down. Just watch as you're doing this exercise. As you come up, if you've neck pain or shoulder pain, or you've limited movement in your shoulders, you will definitely start to arch and stick those ribs out. So if you're doing that, I want you to just bring the band up, not quite as high, just bring it maybe even out to shoulder height and then back down. For any of the rest of you, try bring it all the way up overhead and then back down. But keep those ribs nice and heavy. Keep the tailbone tucked in between your legs. The breathing for this is breath out as you raise up overhead, or begin to come down. Also with this, I'm staying looking straight ahead, keeping the back of the neck nice and long. And again, as you note, with the breathing, it's breath out on the way up. So try lift up and in the pelvic floor. So I'm giving an extra little bit of tension on the band as I raise it up, and then I'm lowering as I come, or releasing as I come back down. So try to keep the body nice and still. So from here, I'm just going to make it a little bit harder. So we're going to start by sitting back onto our heels. Like I said, if you have an issue with your knee movement here, you can place that cushion out between your bow and your heels. If not, so we're going to, as we raise our arms up, we're going to come up into high kneeling, and as we come back down, we're going to sit back onto our heels. From here again, keep a squeeze on that pillow or cushion between your knees. So good squeeze as you lift up overhead, and then relax as you come back down. Watch that those ribs aren't flaring out in front. Keep them nice and heavy. Keep that tailbone tucked in between your legs. So you should really feel like you're clenching the bum cheeks to get you up into that high kneeling position. And as well, you can think of it, we're giving the band an extra little bit of a tension as we go up overhead. For those that can, if you want to join me, we're going to increase the tempo a little bit. Two more. Well done. Lower down. Excellent. From here, take the cushion out just for a second. You can bring your hands in front, tuck that tailbone in between your legs, and sit all the way back onto your heels. Just give your lower back a little bit of a stretch if you can. And just relax those arms out in front. Take a nice big breath in. And long, slow sigh out. Well done. If you can, I'm going to go up into high kneeling again. If this is too difficult now, or you've had enough in your high kneeling position, you can do the next few exercises in standing. So we're going to do some bicep curls here. We're going to do them in high kneeling. Like I said, look, if it's too difficult for you, come up into standing and just stand on the center of your leggings or your tights, and you can do your bicep curls in standing. Okay. For any of you that can join me, stay down in your high kneeling position. And again, squeeze, putting that band in between my legs. I'm placing my tights, or the crotch of my tights, underneath my knees here, really tightening them back right all the way up. So I'm getting a nice amount of tension on them. Stay up in this high kneeling position. So again, tuck that tailbone in between your legs. And you do that really by clenching your bum cheeks. I've kept my elbows tucked in by my side. Again, the ball of my shoulders set back. And I'm just going to bring my thumbs towards my shoulders. So I'm just doing a few little bicep curls here. So start with my elbows bent to 90 degrees or just a little bit less. And then I'm going to bring my thumbs towards my shoulders. So you should feel a nice tension on your bands as you do this. Keep those ribs nice and heavy. And as you do your little bicep curl, give an extra squeeze of the cushion in between your legs. And again, it's breath out. As you do your curl up, breath in as you lower. Make sure again you're staying up nicely in your high kneeling position. So don't slouch back. For those that can, you might go back into the high kneeling position or sitting back on your heels. And as you come up, do your bicep curl. So again, really feel clenching the bum cheeks to get myself up into this high kneeling position. I'm keeping my tailbone tucked in between my legs. I'm keeping my ribs nice and heavy, looking straight ahead. And we're going to go for 3, 2, and 1. Well done. You can lower that band out. For the next one, we're going to do our tricep, the muscle at the back of the arm, in a lunge position. So from here, if you can remember from last week, I'm going to get you to lift your left leg out into the lunge position. So again, I'm light through the arch of my foot. I'm directing my knees over my ankle. I'm directing it out towards my little toe. Again, make sure you have enough space between your heel and your body. Usually this is the problem we see people too when they take too small of a step. So give yourself enough space. Also, the other issue people have is they nearly put their foot and their front foot and back leg as if you're on a tightrope, and it's very difficult to get your balance there. Make sure you're treating it as if your legs are on train tracks. So try to keep this right leg hip width apart from the left leg. So make sure you give yourself enough space there as well too. Again, I'm keeping good form here, so I'm tucking my tailbone in between my legs and I'm keeping my ribs nice and heavy. I'm going to place, for me, I'm going to place the crotch of my tights underneath my foot. It's just where I'm getting best stability on it. And I'm going to bring my arm, so my elbow is a little bit high behind me, but the palm of my hand is facing in towards my hip. My thumb is pointing forward, and I have my elbow bent to 90 degrees. Again, I have my shoulder set back onto my upper back. Again, I'm in a nice position here. My body's nice and still. I'm tucked in, lifted up and in my pelvic floor muscle. And from here, I'm just going to straighten out the lower part of the arm. So I'm keeping the upper arm exactly where it is. And I'm just straightening out the elbow and then releasing. So it's a breath out. As you straighten, breath in as you come back. Stay looking straight ahead. Keep that chin tucked in. So nice and long back of the neck. And open across the front of the chest. And I'm just keeping my position here, my lunge position. Well done. Again, if this is too difficult, you can do the exact same thing up in standing, but just in stride step, with one foot one step ahead of the other, and you stand on your band exactly as we're doing here in the lunge position. And we're going to go for 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Change legs. Try not to hold on to anything if you can. So I'm going to bring my right foot out in front. So again, my right knee is directly over my right ankle. My knee is directed out towards my little toe and light underneath the arch of my foot. Again, I've got wide enough or long enough step here again, and the distance between my heel and my body is enough. And also I've got my legs as if they're hip width apart on train tracks. So I'm going to place the crotch of my leggings or my legs underneath my foot. You can't see, I'm going to change direction, sorry. I tuck my tailbone in between my legs, my ribs are nice and heavy. I'm going to bring my palm of my hand in towards my hip, and it is tucked in by my side. My thumb is pointing, my elbow is bent to 90 degrees, and I'm just going to straighten my arm out. So my lower arm, I'm keeping my upper arm, apologies, where it is, and I'm just straightening out from the elbow down. Again, it's a breath out. As you straighten your arm out, breath in as you come back. Again, keep that neck nice and long. Keep nice and wide across the front of the chest. Keep the tailbone tucked in and the ribs nice and heavy. And we're going to go for 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Come out of that lunge position. You deserve a little bit of a break now. We're going to go back onto lying onto our backs from here. So we can get down onto your mat. You're going to bring your feet together, so feet and knees together. Bring those heels a little bit closer towards your bum. Keep the arms nice and long down by the side of your body, hands pointing, hands facing or resting down into the mat. Imagine again, you're sinking your ribs nice and heavy into the mat. You've got that magnet pulling the crown of your head towards the back of the room, so you're tucking your chin in ever so slightly, and you're lengthening the back of your neck. You're nice and wide across the front of your shoulders. And from here, we're going to keep the heels together as we separate the toes apart, and then follow the heels. So again, your feet, knees, and hips are in that train track position. They're hip width apart and pointing straight ahead. Again, you might want to walk the heels a little bit closer towards your bum. And from here, you're going to imagine you've got a tail on your tailbone, you're tucking it in between your legs, and then you're relaxing. As you tuck it in between your legs, you should feel your lower back roll onto the mat. And then as you relax, a little bit of an arch is created again. So tuck the tailbone in, and then let it relax. To tuck the tailbone in, you should not be clenching your bum cheeks, nor should you feel like there's any tension in the back of the thigh muscles, nor should you be holding your breath. So it should be nice and relaxed, and you're really doing it by using your pelvic floor muscles. So again, the breathing for this is breath out, as you tuck the tailbone in between your legs, breath in to relax. Well done. We're just going to do 2 more. Okay, from here, I want you to find what your neutral is. So for some people, like myself, I have quite a large arch in my lower back. And my neutral is that even when I come to neutral, I still have a tiny little bit of an arch between myself and the mat, but I can feel my skin is in contact with the mat. I'm not clenching or jamming my lower back really tightly into the mat. Other people might find actually naturally they just actually completely rest onto the mat. So whatever your neutral is, but I want to make sure you've got control of it. So from here, we're going to do an exercise for, these are called oblique muscles in your tummy. So they're one of the layers of your abdominal muscles. You're going to keep your right hand flat on the mat, long by your side of your body. You're going to place your left hand on the back, underneath the back of your head. And you're going to keep your left elbow nice and wide. Again, the direction of movement is left elbow towards the right knee. We're going to go nowhere near there. So it's just the direction of the movement. It's following a diagonal. Your eyes, I want you starting off looking straight up towards the ceiling. And really, even as you lift up, you should probably only be looking still at the very upper part of the wall in your room. You're never really looking right down into your tummy or onto your knee. So again, just keep the chin tucked gently in towards your chest. Imagine that right peach underneath your chin. And you're just giving enough pressure to keep it there, but not to squish it. Okay, also, imagine again as you're doing the movement is ribs are sinking down and in underneath the pelvis. And the breathing for this, it's start off with taking a breath in. And even before we lift up, start doing your breath out. Breath out on pelvic floor just before you lift up. Continue then as you lift all the way up. And then breath in as you lower back down. So again, breathing out. Now lift. And breath in to lower. So again, I'm bringing my left elbow towards my right knee. Or if that's the direction of the movement. If you can, while you're doing your breath out, lift up into the pelvic floor muscle. And then lift up away from the mat. So as I'm doing this, I'm keeping my left elbow nice and wide. My head is resting onto the palm of my hand. I'm not pushing my head with my hand. And also, as I'm doing this, as I'm lifting up, I'm feeling my right big hand slide down the mat by my side and then come back up as I lower down. We're going to do 2 more. Well done. We're going to change sides. So place the left hand and arm down flat along the side of the body. Bring the right hand behind your head. Keep the right elbow nice and wide. Sink those ribs in nice and heavy into the mat. Take a nice breath in and breathing out just before you lift up. Start the breath out. And now you try to bring your right elbow towards your left knee. Again, with your breath out, try lift up and in that pelvic floor muscle. Now lift. We're going to do 3 more. And last one. Well done. Just bring the hands down by the side of the body and relax the head. So just let the head rock from side to side to relax there. Well done. Excellent. From here again, keep those legs in that train track position. But I want you to walk your heels a little bit closer to your bum again. Again, we're going to start off. We're going to do our bridge movement from here. So we're rolling our lower back onto the mat and then relaxing. So on the next one, we're going to do a breath in and breathing out. Roll that lower back onto the mat. Continue to peel all the way up off the mat until you can get so that your knees, hips, and shoulders are in a line. Don't let your ribs stick out. So you're keeping those ribs nice and heavy, but you're squeezing your bum cheeks. Clench your bum cheeks, lift that pelvis so that it's in line with your knees and with your shoulders. Going to take a breath in here, and then breathing out, sink heavy through your ribs as you sink all the way down to the mat, rolling all the way down piece by piece and back to the starting position. Again, watch those hands. We're going to push them up through your arms to bring yourself up into the bridge position. If you are, place your palms facing up towards the ceiling. So we're going to take a breath in again, and breathing out, tuck the tail in between your legs, and come all the way up into your bridge position. If you can, I'm going to get you to hold it up here in this position. If you find this too difficult, or you feel hamstrings are going into cramp or bum cheeks are going into cramp, then just sink down through your ribs and down onto the start position and take a break. And also, if you find the lower back is really pinching or giving out, you need to go back down into the start position and really tuck that tailbone in between your legs before you lift back up. If you find that I'm going to roll that down now too. If you find that your hamstrings are giving you a little cramp, just walk those heels in a little bit closer towards your bum before you roll back all the way back up again. Okay, so from here, again, try to keep that connection that we just got between the ribs and the pelvis. You're trying to keep that distance nice and short. And I'm going to raise one arm all the way up overhead, and then back down. And then I'm going to raise the other arm all the way back up overhead and back down. The breathing for this is breath out as I raise the arm up, breath in as I lower. So keep that pelvis up nice and high. Keep the bum cheeks an extra clench. Watch those ribs aren't popping out. So keep them nice and heavy if you like. Just going to do 2 more. Then lower both arms down. Once the arms are down, I'm going to sink heavy through my ribs all the way down, piece by piece, back down onto the mat. Well done. From here, bring your knees in towards your chest and wrap your arms out around the fronts of the knees and just give them a little hug in towards your chest and rock from side to side nice and gently. From here, I'm going to get you to slide your left, so keep a hold of your right knee in towards your chest. Slide your right leg out nice and straight on the mat. Kneecap pointing towards the ceiling. Grab a hold behind your right knee, or right thigh, sorry, and you're going to now try to straighten out your right knee as much as you can. You can relax the foot, it doesn't have to be toe pulled down towards your head. You can just keep the foot in a relaxed position. Again, watch the upper back and neck position, so tuck the chin in ever so slightly. Keep those arms nice and relaxed as much as you can. Really don't try to pull too much with your arms. You're going to stay breathing, and you're going to try to straighten that knee out a little bit more as you hold this stretch for 10, 9, 8. Push the other knee in towards the mat if you can. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now change over. Slide the right leg all the way out. Bring the left knee in towards your chest. Grab a hold behind the left thigh. Try to straighten that left knee out as much as you can. Again, watch the neck position and upper body position. Stay breathing, and you're going to hold this stretch for 10, 9, 8. Push the opposite knee in towards the mat, the one that's down on the ground. 6, 5, straighten the knee a little bit more, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. We're going to come back down. So we're going to stay in this position. And I'm going to get you actually to bring your arms out either side. Very nice. You're going to imagine you're in like a tree position. So I want your arms out either side, your hands facing up at shoulder height. Zip those legs together. So bring your feet together, knees together, and hips together. So imagine you've got that zip going all the way from your toes on up through the inner leg and up into your pelvis. Keeping the arms nice and wide. Think heavy through the ribs. Lengthen the back of the neck. So again, imagine your crown of your head being pulled to the back wall of the room. And I want you to rock your knees nice and gently over to the right hand side. As you do so, the soles of your feet should be visible over to the left. Come back through center, and you're going to rock all the way over to the left hand side with the soles of your feet visible to the right. Come back through center. And the breathing for this is breath in as we lower down to the side. Breath out as you bring the legs back through the center. And breath in as you lower down to the opposite side. As you go through the center, as you're breathing out, try roll that lower back onto the mat. So you're doing like your pelvic tilt. And then let it relax as you're lowering down to the opposite side. Well done. We're just going to go one more to each side. Super. From here, bring those heels in a little bit closer to your bum. Keep your heels together as you separate your toes apart, and then follow by separating your heels apart. So we're back on track again here if you like. The feet, knees, and hips are in line, and they're pointing straight ahead. Again, you might need to walk those heels a little bit closer towards your bum. Again, crown of head being pulled towards the back wall of the room. Tuck that chin in, nice and wide across the front of my chest, and I've sunk my ribs in nice and heavy to the back of the mat. Arms are nice and long by the side of my body, hands resting down onto the surface. From here, again, you find your neutral position, so I want you to tuck your tailbone in between your legs. You're going to try to keep that position as you're going to float your right leg up to hip height, so knee over hip and toe just a little bit higher than the knee. And then lower down, toe, heel. Now we're going to float the left leg up to hip height, so my knee is over my hip and my toe is a little bit higher than my knee, and then lower down, toe, heel. If you can, actually place your hands onto those bony bits at the front of your pelvis. And what you're doing here is you're feeling for any unwanted movement. So we don't want any rocking from side to side, and we definitely don't want to be popping up away with a big arch underneath your back as you lift your leg up. So you're lifting your leg up and then lowering down. The breathing for this is we're going to take a breath in to start, and then breathing out, lifting the leg up, breath in as you lower, toe, heel. Again, if you can, with the breath out, it's lift up and in pelvic floor. That's what helps to give you control. So from here, I'm going to lift up, actually I'm going to do one more. Now I'm going to lift up my left leg into the tabletop position, and I'm going to keep it in that position. So my knee is directly over my hip, and again, don't let that foot drop down. So keep that foot a little bit higher than your knee. I'm going to keep this position here, and I'm going to slide my right leg down the mat and slide it back up. So again, the breathing is breath in as I slide down, breath out as I slide back up. I want you to make sure you're keeping control the whole way as much as you can. So if you feel your lower back is starting to pop up, even when your leg is here, that's as far as you go, and then you pull back up. So you make the movement even smaller. It's about keeping the pelvis nice and still and stopping the lower back from popping up off the mat. So if you lose control early on, that's your range. Don't go any further. If you find you can't keep any control at all and you're popping up instantly, then I will actually allow you to bring this knee a little bit closer in towards your chest so you can achieve some movement. But for any of us that can, keep that knee out so that it's over your hip. And so breath in and slide the leg down, breath out as you draw the leg back up. Again, try lift up in the pelvic floor muscle. As you're breathing out, bring the leg back up. I'm just going to do one more. Now I'm going to lower my left leg, toe, heel. And I'm going to float the right leg up to hip height. If you need to, at this point you're feeling a little bit of an ache in the back, bring those knees in towards your chest and just give a little hug from side to side. Actually, everyone's enjoying with this. It's nice to take a little break every now and again. Okay, so we're going to come back down. And this time I'm going to float the right leg up into tabletop position. So again, my knee is directly over my hip and my foot is a little bit higher. I'm going to slide my left leg down and then slide back up, lifting, drawing up with my heel. So I'm sliding down my toe, I feel, and then I'm sliding back up with my heel. It doesn't really make a difference what way you do with your foot. But the biggest thing here is making sure you're not popping up off the mat. You're keeping your control. So even actually before you lift your leg up, tuck that tailbone in between your legs. Make sure you've got control of your lower back before you go into your tabletop position and before you start the leg sliding. So it's breathing in as you go down and breath out as you bring that leg back up. Well done. Like I said, if your range is just going down ever so slightly, that's fantastic. If you find, like me, I've got a really grippy mat, which is great for doing my PA squats, but awful for doing this sort of sliding. And if you're practicing this at another time again, you might even find placing your foot onto a pillow cover or onto something slippy, a plastic bag or something. It might slide a little bit easier down your mat, so you won't have to pull quite as hard coming back up. So do one more. Well done. I'm going to lower that foot, toe, heel. Fantastic. Bring those knees in towards your chest again and just give them a little bit of a hug and rock from side to side. Well done. From here, we're going to stretch our bum cheeks. So I want you to place your left foot down onto the mat. My left knee is bent. I'm going to cross my right ankle over the front of my left knee. You may feel a pull across your bum at this point, and that's perfect if you do. If you don't, grab a hold of your left thigh with your hands, back of your left thigh, and bring your left knee towards your chest. And you definitely should be feeling a pull on your bum cheek now. Stay breathing nice and smoothly. Keep the arms and the head nice and relaxed. So you're going to hold this stretch for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring that leg down, toe, heel, and we're going to change over to the opposite side. So again, my right foot is flat on the mat, my right knee is bent. Cross your left ankle over the top of your right knee. Again, you may feel a pull here, and if you do, if not, use both hands behind the back of your right thigh. Bring your right knee towards your chest, and you should feel a nice pull down on the left hand side of the bum cheek. You're going to stay breathing and hold this for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Lower down. We're going to roll over onto our side and onto our all fours position. I'm just going to change position so you can see me a little bit better. Yeah, so we're going to go on to all fours. I'm not going to stay in this position for too long, don't worry. So we're going to start off again, tuck the tailbone in between the legs and then stick it up into the air. So we're doing our pelvic tilt here in this position. So again, my hands are just a little bit farther ahead of my shoulders. My knees are directly underneath my hips. So I'm tucking that tailbone in and then I'm sticking it up into the air. Well done. Again, it's a breath out. Tuck the tailbone in, breath in to stick it back. Watch as you're doing this, that your bum stays directly over your hips. You're not rocking forward and back. So I'm going to get you to tuck that tailbone in between your legs. Keep the tuck on as you sit all the way back onto your heels. Keep the arms stretched out. And you're going to walk the hands all the way over to the right hand side of your room. You're going to hold this stretch, feel it pull down along the left hand side of the body. Stay breathing and hold it for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now walk all the way over to the left hand side of the room, or your mat, and just feel a nice pull down on the right hand side of the body. I'm going to get you to hold this stretch again. Stay breathing for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. We're going to come back up onto all fours. Again, find your neutral position. So not with bones stuck all the way up into the air, nor all curled up like this. So find a position where if you were to put a bowl of water onto your back, you can keep it nice and still without letting it spin. From here, we're going to do our thread the needle. So I want you to keep, I'm placing all the weight to my left hand and both knees. I'm releasing my right hand. I'm going to sweep my arm, with my thumb leading all the way up towards the ceiling as far as I can go, watching where my thumb goes to. And then I'm going to sweep my arm down underneath between my hand and my body and all the way across underneath me. So this is what we call the thread the needle. So it's a breath in as you turn to look up towards the ceiling, and then breath out as we thread that needle underneath. So breath in as you go to the ceiling. As you're coming underneath, you can let the arm that you're resting on, you can let it bend to allow you to get more of a stretch on the arm that's in the air. Just going to do 2 more. Well done, and change sides. Make sure you've got enough space to lift your arm up out to the side. So again, tuck that table in between your legs, get that nice flat back position. You're going to release your left thumb, watching your thumb as you turn all the way up towards the ceiling, and then breathing out, thread that needle underneath. You might find you're a little bit stiffer, going one side compared to the other. But this actually also is another lovely stretch for loosening up the upper back. Again, if your wrist is giving bother here, you can go down onto a fisted position to come underneath. You won't be able to bend the elbow as much as you thread through, but it'll take the pressure off the wrist. We're just going to do 1 more. Well done. From here, stay in your all fours position, and we're just going to do our hula hoop. So imagine again you've got that hula hoop on your waist, and you're doing a nice big circle in one direction. Well done. Or again, if the hula hoop is not getting you, imagine you have a pencil literally in the center of your bum, and you're drawing a big circle on the back wall of your room. And now we're going to change direction and do our hula hoop or draw a circle in the opposite direction. And again, like I always say, I'm getting better, I think, but it's definitely a funky circle that I draw this way. It's actually, I feel like it's a circle the other direction, but this way it's definitely not. Just stay breathing nice and smoothly. Well done. Super, we're going to go for 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Tuck that tailbone in. You're just going to sit back onto your heels for one last one. Give those wrists a little bit, so go into a 50 position, give those wrists a little bit of a circle out or a curl out, just to let them relax a little bit. And now we're going to come back up. We're going to go into our all fours position. And from here, we're going to go into our high kneeling. Take your time as you do so. And then once you've gotten yourself set, I'm going to get you to try lift your leg out into your lunge position. So you're going to, again, try lift your leg out with your heel first and then your toe. If you need to tip off something as you do that, that's perfect. But try to get into the habit to use your hands as less as you can. Again, watch your lunge position. Make sure you have enough space in this lunge position and you're trying to keep hip width apart. You'll be glad to hear this is just a stretch this time. So you're going to place your hand on my right hand onto my right thigh. My knee is directly over my ankle. My knee is going out in the direction of my little toe. I'm going to raise my left hand all the way up into the air. I've tucked my tailbone in, kept my ribs nice and heavy, And now I'm going to bring my right knee all the way out towards my over my little toe. Stretch that left hand all the way up and across over to the right hand side. I should feel a nice pull down along the front of my left hip and side of my body. Clench the bum cheek for an extra stretch. Stay breathing, and I want you to hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower that arm down. You're going to bring that hand back in, your leg back in underneath even. And now this time I want you to try lift your left leg out. Again, you can do it without holding on to something. That would be great. Again, knee is directly over my ankle. Knee is aimed out towards my little toes. You're nice and light to the arch of your foot. I've got my left hand on my thigh. Stretch my right hand all the way up into the air. Tuck the tailbone in. Keep the ribs nice and heavy. Bring that left knee all the way forward over my left little toe. Stretch the right arm all the way up and over to the left hand side. Clench the bum cheek. Stay breathing, and you're going to hold this for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. If you can from here, I'm going to get you to curl those toes in underneath and the leg behind. And you're going to push all the way up into standing, driving through this front heel. So the work is really done with the front leg, and you're driving up through your heel. Direct your knee out towards your little toe side of your foot, pushing all the way up through your heel and up into standing. Well done. So once we get up, we're going to stand with our feet hip width apart. Bring those arms into the prayer position. We're going to take a nice big breath in and breathing out. Stretch all the way up to the ceiling. Relax that head back. Nice big circle with those hands. Really stretch those arms around like you're doing a big yawn. Bring your chin towards your chest. Let those arms hang heavy in front as you curl all the way down towards the ground. Take a nice big breath in. Breathing out, bring those hands back into the prayer position. Stacking up through the spine, stretch all the way to the ceiling. Imagine those fingertips being pulled out of your shoulder joints. Keep those ribs nice and heavy as you do a nice big circle around to the side. Bring the chin towards your chest. Curling down towards the ground for one last time. Take a nice big breath in here and breathing out, push up through those legs. As you stack all the way up, stretch up to the ceiling, relax the head back. Nice big circle and back into the center. Well done, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the class, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Take care.